Christmas Day, uh, a lot of fun always for sports. It used to be for me about the NBA. If I would go over to my uncle's house, and in the background with the entire family in the background would be the NBA. You'd have Jordan and the Bulls, or that transitioned a lot into Penny Hardaway and Shaq in Orlando. It wasn't must watch, but it was on to watch. And I didn't tune into a single second of the NBA's product on Christmas Day. Straight NFL and Netflix. And the only thing I saw was at a briefly, a Christmas party. Lakers were on in the background for about 5 seconds. So I guess I did. I saw 5 seconds of the NBA on Christmas Day. It's gone down the drain. It's the style of play, all the threes, non-competitive games. We're seeing a lot of blowouts. And in this game, we had Steph Curry and LeBron James, and I didn't care. LeBron is, fake acting like the NBA still owns Christmas Day. Used to be the unofficial tip-off. Now the NBA tips off during the NBA Finals for me. The quote from LeBron: "Merry Christmas to my family back home." This is supposed to be Merry Christmas to my family back home. I'm coming home, and I love the NFL. I love the NFL, but Christmas is our day. This is LeBron saying that on behalf of the association. Not any longer, man. That's gone by the wayside. The NFL has jumped in and they have planted their flag on the not just national holiday, but across the planet. A lot of countries recognizing Christmas and celebrating that with a national holiday, and it's going to be the national pastime. The NFL reaching that audience, and across the country, they own the audience of sports fans, not the National Basketball Association. And LeBron, at the end of his career, what he's doing can be really good for a guy of his age and the greatest player other than Michael Jordan. But when Michael Jordan was playing, I cared. And when LeBron's playing right now, I don't. That's unfortunate because I want to be invested in basketball, but right now it's just college basketball or bust. And it's a bust for the NBA on Christmas Day because the NFL's there. And they're owning it with a good product. We had one blowout with Baltimore, but the matchup with the Chiefs and what we saw with the Steelers was far better than the style of play and the type of game we're seeing, not just from the Lakers, but across the league. Davey, did you watch any of the NBA's matchups and the few and a handful of games they threw at us on Christmas?
I did not, Hut. And it was one where I saw it on TV, but I was like, you know what? I don't even have any interest in tuning in. The only thing
No.
I did see, it was pregame, but it was like Joel Embiid like hurting his ankle because he tripped over a rope or something of that nature, which I was like, oh, but the dude stays injured, but he ended up playing. I went back and checked before, we recorded, just like, did he actually even end up playing? Because,
Yeah.
that was all that I saw on social media beforehand, but it was not something I tuned into. And, it's one of those things to where with the NFL, like I'm obviously going to choose that over the NBA every day and twice on Sunday,
Right.
but it gets to the point to where I'm just I can't remember seeing a league go downhill as fast as the NBA is. And I know they still have, their diehards, but as far as the casuals, they're doing absolutely nothing to make us want to tune in.
No. They do everything to make us tune out. You know, it's more or less you're either with us or against us. And the NFL, you can be against what they're doing. They're taking over, and the owners are making $500 million off of the television rights fees before the season even kicks off. But we're still watching because of the product that the NBA's style of basketball has gone down the drain. What college basketball has been really good
Yeah,
to
no,
tip off the season.
college
Totally
been
different
great.
sport.
You mentioned the LeBron quote, and the fact he even has to go out of his way to bring that up just goes to show you how down the league is. I
But
mean,
yeah, the
the
ratings.
NFL, no one's going to be even. It's like that's not even on people in the NFL's radar that this is also happening at the same time. Like I watched a lot of the post game comments, for the Chiefs when they won, the Ravens when they won. Like nobody's bringing up the NBA, and yet LeBron is like going out of his way to say like this is our day. It's like, dude, if you're having to say it, we know you've already conceded the fight.
Yeah, but maybe he's meaning like it's the country's day. It's not even about the NBA. I'm joking, but LeBron did acknowledge that the NBA has a problem with the
Yeah.
style of game that they're playing and the lack of care that we're taking in wanting to consume it. He said that last week, and yeah, it's the last ditch effort to actually act like if you're watching it and you watch that, the perception that he's sending is, oh, you care, everyone else does too, but we don't. We don't. The ratings will not reflect that compared to what Netflix was putting out there. Speaking of that, Jerry Jones. Yeah,
Real
go
quick
ahead.
on that. The other thing I wanted to say was I get that Christmas has become more commercialized, but you're I don't know that the NBA and LeBron doesn't exactly have this crowd, but if you're making comments like that, you're losing the evangelical crowd as well. To say like, listen, there's a reason for the season. Don't try to make this about you whenever most people are
Well,
going to be like this. I mean, this is a day for Jesus, and I get a lot of people have problems with them even playing games on this day. It's like a day you should just be spending time with your family, but it's like, come on, man, like I think you're really missing the mark just to even have to bring that comment up.
yeah, I mean, sure, celebrating Christ's birth, but I mean, you're also celebrating Santa Claus coming down the chimney. I don't think that's what he's getting at because
Well, he's
Jerry
not, but I'm just
Jones.
saying it's not going to help that audience.
Well, the same
They're
audience
trying to
though.
get more people in.
Yeah, well, but the same audience is hearing one of the NFL's owners saying that we're going to own Christmas Day too, and that audience will be tuning in to watch football.
Very fair.
Uh, yeah, and so Jerry Jones saying that well, will the NFL play on Christmas Day regardless of the day? The answer is yes. We knew that. Jerry didn't have to say this if he's asked that question. Because they're already playing on Wednesday, and Netflix is paying $150 million per game to make that happen. But the quote from Jerry: "Christmas Day is Christmas Day, and it doesn't wait around for what day it's on. We want to be there on Christmas Day. I would think the future is whatever day it's on, we're going to be there on Christmas. Yes, they will. And the Kansas City Chiefs will be there as long as Mahomes and Kelsey and Taylor Swift are there, or the possibility that she'll be there. They're going to lease out the rights to Kansas City, who was going to end up playing 3 games in 11 days with their starters. Now, because they're the number one seed, they may not play their starters or some of their starters for 22 days as of today, moving forward to when they would play in the divisional round as the number one seed. They get a huge break for a team that's banged up, and the quick turnaround for Christmas ends up being Andy Reid in a Santa Claus outfit and the big Santa jackets. Which, by the way, I thought that was a nice touch, putting the huge Santa Claus um, coat on the players. I thought Netflix was really smart in doing that. That can be their version of turkey whenever they're doing something or eating the turkey leg when you pass that around on Thanksgiving. Did you like that? I thought that was cool.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a nice touch. I I'm glad you can at least add a little bit of that flavor. It's it is one of those things, at least on social media, you at least saw that kind of taking off afterwards. And I mean, if you're Netflix, you're trying to get as many eyeballs as possible and just trying to do the things like, I mean, for Thanksgiving, the turkey legs, the iconic thing
Yeah.
I'm used to seeing whenever it's a post game coverage. So it's a nice touch. I'm with you there.
Hey, and I'm here to say this: will we be watching the NBA or NFL? The NFL. The NFL is going to be there. We watched the NFL over the college football playoff, for instance. We tuned into both, but we tuned into both for a regular season game versus the first ever college football playoff weekend, or yeah, Friday night for that matter.